Hi everyone, welcome back to Anaheim Park Tourist. We're doing something a little different for this video. The Flack Fam, another YouTube channel, has tagged us in answering a bunch of questions. There are questions were originally 40 random, and we're going to do something a little more Disney specific since we are a Disneyland channel. And we thought this would be something fun to do between Christmas and New Year's. We figured it'd be a good fit for this time of year.
If you see Jim looking this way, it's because he's looking at the TV to read the question.
Yes. So we're going to start off with something fun. What attraction terrified you the most as a kid?
For me, it was Captain EO. It was the first time I had ever been in a 3D movie. And when Angelica Houston was the alien and she reached out her hand like that, I thought for sure she was going to touch me. It scared the living you-know-what out of me, and I screamed bloody murder, and then my mom made me take off my 3D glasses for the rest of the entire movie, and I just sat there. She wanted me to be quiet.
Yeah, and I don't, to be fair, I remember seeing the Captain EO when it did come back, and it was a little scary. It did look like they're going to be touched by her.
Yes. Honorable mention goes to Harold at night when his eyes would glow red, and that always kind of freaked me out a little bit. But it was also fun.
Yeah, and for me, I'm sure there's a lot of you that are like this. I was terrified of Adventures in Inner Space. I really thought they were going to shrink me down. And I swear the little statues on the conveyor belt were real. And so I don't even know how old I was, but my cousin reassured me. And I just remember looking up and seeing the eyeball. And that really terrified me.
I think I only went on that ride once, and I don't remember a whole lot about it.
And so we're going to jump into, what was your most memorable Disneyland experience?
My most memorable experience was getting in line at 2 a.m. to enter Disneyland on the 50th anniversary, which was July 17th, 2005. My friend and I went down, and we were actually at Disneyland the day before until 11 o'clock at night, and we were walking back to our hotel and already saw people lined up, and we thought, uh-oh, I don't think we're going to get a lot of sleep tonight. So we went back to the room, set our alarm for 1 a.m., got up, got ready, and went and got mine at 2. It was such a fun day. Everyone was so excited to be there. We were in this huge long line that snaked all around California Adventure. We ended up sitting right by the Golden Zephyr, and it was really fun to watch the sun come up in a Disney park. That was just the neatest experience. And then to be with a huge group of people that were just so excited to be part of that history was really, really super fun, and that was one of my most memorable experiences.
And Crystal will show you what she actually got.
Yeah, so I did get the I Was Here ears. I also got the pin that I waited in line for like 6 hours for in the super duper hot sun. Pretty sure I got pretty sunburned. And the cool thing about that, though, was as soon as we got out of that crazy line to buy all the merchandise, the park was dead. It was like people had just gone in the morning to watch all the ceremonies, and then the park cleared out. And we ended up staying there till 12:30, I think, that night. We were there almost 24 hours.
Yeah, so
I was obviously a lot younger at that point.
So my most memorable experience was our 4th or 5th day. I used to have a job where I traveled the country, and so I was only home 4 days at a time, and it was hard to get a date with Crystal because of that. And so I invited her to fly down to Anaheim. I would have to be working right next to Disneyland. And when we went to the park, I remember riding on the tram from the parking structure, and I'm thinking, what the heck are they building here? And that's when they were building DCA, they were building Downtown Disney, and we went for the 98 Tomorrowland remodel, which was a complete disaster in our opinion. We were very much let down, but we won't go too much into that. And it was just amazing. All the streets were torn up, and we were just shocked that everything there was just an utter mess. And
yeah, they were planting all those awesome palm trees up and down Catella Harbor, and they were making all the signs for the hotels match and everything like that. And we had no, back then we didn't.
There's no YouTube or anything like that. So we just didn't know. And the last time I was there is 95 for Indiana Jones, and nothing like that was taking place yet. We're going to go down to our bucket list items at Disneyland, and Crystal's going to list kind of our bucket list together, the things we've done and the things we want to still do.
So the things we want to still do are we would love to stay in the Dream Suite, which is above the Pirates of the Caribbean. I have no idea if that's even still a possibility because I think they're using that for other things now. But that would be a dream come true to be able to stay there. Another thing I would like to do is to go into the club in Carthay Circle at California Adventure. I believe it's called 1901 and it's kind of part of Club 33. It looks just really neat in there, like old Hollywood style, and I'd love to check that out one time if we could. Some of the things that we've been super fortunate to already cross off our bucket list are Club 33. We had a friend that had an in to Club 33, and we are just beyond grateful that we were able to go 2 times. The 2 times that we went was before this major renovation they had a couple years ago. So if we could go one more time and just see the differences, that would be super awesome. But we don't know anyone who can get us in. So I think that's kind of
that's a long shot for us
yes,
now.
a long shot. But that's one of the things we would love to be able to do. Another bucket list item we were able to do as a family was to ride in the Lily Bell caboose on the train. And that was a super special memory, and just we had an awesome conductor that gave us so much history on our Grand Circle tour, and that was kind of a dream come true as well.
Yeah, and it was a real busy Christmas time night. I think we were there early December, and it was super packed, and it was just an amazingly quiet ride.
Yeah.
And it was just a surreal experience.
Very magical.
Mm-hmm.
And the last thing that I thought I would never probably get to do in my lifetime was to go inside Walt's apartment on Main Street. A couple years ago, they started doing a tour called the Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour, and at the end of the tour, you do get to go into his apartment. And we were fortunate enough to be able to take that tour one trip, and it was incredible. It was really neat to walk into where Walt used to stay with his family, and they are very picky about where you stand and where you take pictures in Walt's apartment, but just to be in there was something I never thought I would be able to do. So that was pretty neat. If they continue this tour once things reopen, we highly recommend it.
Exactly. And we do the same with Lily Bell. We highly recommend if you can go up and talk to the conductor, see if you can get in. I don't know the requirements anymore for the Lily Bell.
I've heard it's only open to Club 33, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
Yes, it never hurts to ask.
Exactly. The worst they can say is no. And so then we're going to go to your attraction you missed the most.
I think we're on the same page
We are.
This. We both missed the People Mover, and for me, I also missed the Skyway Bucket.
Yeah, and when we were at Walt Disney World a few weeks ago, we definitely missed riding the People Mover again, as it's still down there. And so we're pretty bummed out, but we'll be back at Walt Disney World in a year or two.
Eventually, we'll get to ride it.
Exactly. And what are your favorite attractions at Disneyland in California?
My favorite at Disneyland is Space Mountain, and second favorite is Splash Mountain. And then my very favorite at California Adventure is Guardians of the Galaxy.
And for me, it is Space Mountain and probably Incredicoaster. Guardians of the Galaxy I do like, but it terrifies me, and it is the only ride that terrifies me. And Crystal and I have been on at Cedar Point in Ohio, and we've been on the fastest, tallest roller coasters in the world. It doesn't bother me, but whatever they did after the Tower of Terror change just terrifies me. And so I sometimes ride it and sometimes I don't.
Which means I get to ride it more often.
Yes. If you can change one thing at Disneyland, what would it be?
I also think we're in agreement on this. I would change Tomorrowland back to how it was in 1966. It's just missing something right now.
Yeah.
It really needs some love.
Our friend Eric B, and we'll leave a link to his channel, he did mention this in a recent video, how it's missing the kinetic energy, stuff going around, and the rockets were up high, so you have that energy, the People Mover, and we just feel like the style just doesn't fit that the French fry rocks. I know those are all gone now, but the gold, it just never really worked. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see the Mary Blair mural come back. and they take the other one down that's covering it.
Yeah, I think if we can, of course, no one's ever going to come to a complete agreement, but I think they can do some sort of retro, modern take on what it once was, and I think that'd probably satisfy most people. I know it'd satisfy us.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is your favorite Disneyland snack?
My favorite is the Dole Whip. I also really love the gingerbread cookies. I don't care if it's the gingerbread man or if it's the gingerbread man with Mickey ears and if the top is chocolate. Anything that's gingerbread is right up my alley.
Yeah, and that's why we actually have a video where she's making the gingerbread. And for me, my favorite snack is gone. I love the soft serve chocolate dipped cones at the Cozy Cone, but they no longer serve them. And so I'm going to fall back to the Dole Whip, but I usually get the specials. Last time I was there, I got the candied hibiscus and Dole Whip, and that was actually pretty good. What celebrities have you seen at Disneyland?
They're not very famous celebrities. I saw Dwayne the dog, the bounty hunter, one time. It was really random. I was walking towards Splash Mountain. He came out from the exit between Splash Mountain and Pooh Corner. It was just him all by himself. And, he kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. So I noticed him right away, but no one I was with knew who that was. And he's definitely not as tall as he seems.
Were you taller than him?
I feel like I was taller, or, we were about the same height, but he had his cowboy boots on with heels.
Yeah,
and
Crystal's
I just had tennis shoes on.
5'9", so
Yeah.
to give you an idea.
He was not as tall. He did look a little intimidating, though.
And then Crystal's mom spotted this next celebrity. We had no clue who he was or who he is, and I know he recently got in trouble, and it was Billy Bush, and we saw him on a tour with a plaid, and he had a bunch of teenagers with him. Like I said, I had no clue who he is. I had to look him up afterwards or on our phone. I don't remember. And that's kind of the pro tip. If you see a plaid, check out who's with the plaid, because that's where you're going to spot the celebrities. That wraps up our list. If you like this video, give us a big thumbs up on this. We thought this would be something fun to do between Christmas and New Year's. We still have 4 more days of vlogs coming from Walt Disney World, and we still have a bunch of content we filmed from Downtown Disney and Disneyland. It may not be so relevant with lockdowns right now, but we're going to be releasing that as well. So thank you for watching, and we hope you really enjoyed this.